Today's podcast is taking you from Dublin to Kilkenny, but you have a choice. Are you taking the fast route or the more scenic route? The medieval city of Kilkenny is an easy trip from Dublin. It's under 2 hours if you travel direct by car, and if you're basing in Dublin, it is a terrific day trip by train. But too many travelers consider Kilkenny as more of a stop through en route to another spot. It's usually Cork. But often that leads to regret because this small city is more than just a magnificent castle. Experience the thrill of Ireland's ancient game in the heart of its homeland. Hurling Tours Ireland invites you to Kilkenny, the legendary home of hurling. Step into 3,000 years of history and passion with an immersive tour where you'll hear the stories, learn the skills, and then try them for yourself on the pitch. Feel the excitement as you grip the hurley, strike the schlitter, and discover why hurling is more than a sport, it's a way of life. Whether you're a sports enthusiast or a history lover, this is your chance to experience authentic Ireland. Learn more and book your tour today at irelandfamilyvacations.com/hurling or hurlingtoursireland.ie. So when you're thinking about that route from Dublin to Kilkenny, you have a couple of options when you're planning your itinerary. You can opt to visit the city for a day or consider a longer stay. The choice of this really comes down to time. If you plan to only consider Kilkenny for one day of your itinerary, you'll want to arrive by late morning and enjoy a really solid amount of time in the city. Or if you can devote 2 nights to Kilkenny, my recommendation is to wind your way through Wicklow and arrive in the city by evening. So in today's podcast, I'm going to take you through an overview of what those 2 itineraries would look like and how to work them into your schedule. So option number 1, the quick route, arriving in Kilkenny by late morning. As I said earlier, this is a direct option, but I do have one stop on the way, and it's a pretty terrific one. So what you would want to do for this is to depart Dublin, I would say no later than 10 a.m. to really maximize your time in Kilkenny. You're going to make one stop en route at the Rock of Dunamace, which is a stunning ruin in County Laois, one of my favorites. It's very likely that your stop there would have nobody else on the site, so you get to experience this really atmospheric spot all on your own. Now, with that one stop and a departure from Dublin at 10 a.m., you should arrive to Kilkenny no later than 1 p.m. The first thing I would do would be visit Kilkenny Castle. I often describe Kilkenny Castle as Ireland's only palace, just because it has a very palatial feel to it. It's an incredible spot to visit. Then my next recommendation would be to join the Shenanigans Tour, usually runs about 2:30, for a really fun overview of the city. It's got a little bit of, history, a little bit of magic. It's good fun with some terrific information. Now, if you don't want to do the tour, then what I would do is follow the medieval mile between Kilkenny Castle and St. Canice's Cathedral. So what you have along that stretch is really the best of Kilkenny. You have the Medieval Mile Museum at the former St. Mary's Church. So in there you have medieval relics, treasures, skeletons. It's a really highly interactive museum and a terrific place to begin your tour of the city. Then you'll have Kittler's Inn. Now, part of that building dates back to the 13th or 14th century, and it was an inn since 1639. But the history that really makes Kittler's a place that people will go to is that Dame Alice Kittler was the first recorded person condemned for witchcraft in Ireland. So it has that really kind of fascinating history, if you will. The story is just crazy. Now, Kittler's Inn is a pub. They have very good food and Irish music, so it's a great spot for dinner. Continuing on down the medieval mile, you have the Smittix experience. So 300 years of brewing, and your tour ends with a pint. So if beer is your thing, definitely check that out. And then at the very end of the medieval mile, you have St. Canice's Cathedral. Now, this is the oldest medieval building in the city. It's been a site of worship since the 6th century, and it has one of only 3 ancient round towers that can be climbed in the country of Ireland. So this actually ranks as one of my top things to do in Kilkenny. Climbing the tower it's unique, right? There's so few places you can do it, and you're at the very top, you're standing on top of it, you have a beautiful view of the city. So if heights are not a thing for you, or even if they are a little bit, like I'm terrified of falling, but I did it. So it's completely doable and definitely something that I recommend everybody does if they're in the city and capable of it. Another spot that I really love in Kilkenny is the Kilkenny Design Center. Now, these were the former stables of Kilkenny Castle, and they're a great place for gifts and souvenirs. They specialize in local artisans and crafters, so you're going to find some local unique things here. So don't miss the Kilkenny Design Center. Wrapping up your day in Kilkenny, you're going to have dinner. Now you have Kittler's, which I've already mentioned with Dame Alice and the Witchcraft, but also Rafters Gastropub is a really nice spot. And then if you like wine and tapas, check out the Grapevine. Then this evening after dinner, you're just basically going to follow your ears to a local pub, enjoy the music, and kind of wrap up your day. Another thing you want to check is back down the medieval mile is the Hole in the Wall pub. Now, the stories of this pub go way back. The story is that the hole in the wall was there so politicians could sneak out without being seen. So it is a very tiny pub with a lot of great stories and history. It is not open all the time, however. So really you'll see a sign on the medieval mile that says it's open. You'll go through a dark alleyway and it's down there. So definitely if the Hole in the Wall pub is open, be sure to stop in there. Now, your other option on your way to Kilkenny is a more scenic route through County Wicklow. This is going to be a full day trip on your way, so you'll arrive in Kilkenny in the evening. So you would use this itinerary if you have 2 nights to spend in Kilkenny, giving you 1 full day in the city. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with touring in County Wicklow. Now, the highlights of Wicklow would be Powers Court Estate with the beautiful gardens and the wonderful distillery. Also, Ireland's tallest waterfall is there at Powers Court. You have Glendalough, the 6th century monastic site, beautiful walks along the lakes in that heart of the Wicklow Mountains. Obviously, as you drive through, you're going to do a little bit of touring through Wicklow Mountains National Park. You have a photo op at the Hollywood sign, which is kind of a fun little quick stop to do. You also have the Avoca Woolen Mill, which is it's in the Avoca Glen, and it's just such a stunning little spot. You can take a tour of the woolen mill. You can see the way the old weaving machines and how everything used to be made. Then you get to see the new weaving machines. So it's really a very interesting, terrific tour. The food at Avoca is great. And they do have a very nice gift shop as well, if that's your thing. If you're traveling with kids, I highly recommend Beyond the Trees Avondale, which is a treetop walk that ends in a 9-story spiral slide. So it's a great, great place with kids, or, just those who are young at heart. We had a great time there. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to make all of those Wicklow sites in one day. 3 may be your limit, but touring through Wicklow is going to be a good solid day. And then you will head on to Kilkenny for the evening, enjoy dinner in the city, take in a pub or two with some great music. And then you're going to have the entire next day to enjoy Kilkenny. So to enjoy a full day in Kilkenny City, my favorite thing to do first thing in the morning is to stroll along the canal walk. So this starts at Canal Square, and you're going to pass by the hurling statue and continue along the River Nore. It skirts the Kilkenny Castle grounds and ends at Bennett's Bridge Road. And then that winds back to the Castle Road and the parade right in front of the castle. So I love that walk first thing in the morning when things are really quiet. I think it's a great way to kick off the day. And then you go back to your B&B or your hotel and you have a really nice breakfast. Now, again, on this day, I would plan Kilkenny Castle for your first stop. You will spend, anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half probably in Kilkenny Castle. It is a beautiful, it really is just stunning. Like I said, it is Ireland's only palace in my mind, and, freely available to everybody, as opposed to like the castle hotels where you have to be staying in order to gain access. Everybody can pay the fee and get into Kilkenny Castle. It is an OPW heritage site. So if you have the OPW card, that is going to, you're just entries included. So make sure you take advantage of it. It's a beautiful place to visit. After Kilkenny Castle, I would still choose a tour. Now, because you have a full day, you have a few more options. So you obviously still have the Shenanigans Kilkenny City Walk with Nevin. It's great for history, it's great for a laugh, and it's terrific for families. You can hear from Nevin himself in episode number 277 of the podcast. So if you're going to Kilkenny, be sure to check that out. There is also a Kilkenny daytime food tour where you can learn more about the city as you wander through the streets. You're going to meet local food producers and taste regional delicacies, as well as a few global influences. There is the Kilkenny History Walk with a whiskey tasting. So you're going to learn about the city, walk through the streets, and then you're going to enjoy a whiskey tasting at Kittler's Inn. There's also a cycling tour of Kilkenny. This is another really family-friendly option, and it takes in the city's highlights as well as a few hidden spots that you're not going to reach so easily on foot. So I would still opt for a really nice guided tour with a full day in the city. Now, by this time, you might be ready for just a wee bite of something and maybe a light lunch. I really like the Kilkenny Cafe at the Kilkenny Design Center. It's quick, it's easy, and the food is absolutely fresh and delicious. If you just are looking for something maybe a little bit more sweet with a cup of tea or coffee, I would head to Cake Face. It's not far from the cathedral on the Medieval Mile, and the flavors and the presentation are just absolutely incredible. Next up, if you're a sporty type, or you just, enjoy a little bit of activity and a good laugh, consider the hurling experience. Kilkenny is known as the hurling capital of Ireland, and getting your hands on a hurley is kind of like connecting with the heart of the Irish people. Now, just like in the first recommendation, you're going to want to get to St. Canice's to climb the Round Tower. And if you enjoy a good pint, make sure Smittix is part of your itinerary. If you have gifts to buy or just want something special for yourself, visit the Kilkenny Design Center, which is across from the castle. And then you'll wrap up your day with a great meal and live music. Just follow your ears. When you're ready to start planning your Ireland vacation, grab some inspiration from my free itineraries at irelandfamilyvacations.com/plan. Each one includes places to visit, things to do, and plenty of helpful advice, like attraction and lodging recommendations, car rental tips, and money-saving ideas to make the most of your trip. Check them out and download yours today at irelandfamilyvacations.com plan, P-L-A-N. Kilkenny has quite a few terrific options for accommodations. A few of my favorite spots are Butler House, which is the former dower house of Kilkenny Castle. So it's kind of like staying in a mini castle, if you would. The Kilkenny River Court Hotel, which is across the river from the castle. The Kilkenny Ormonde, which is a beautiful historic boutique 4-star hotel right in the heart of the city. And then you have the Hotel Kilkenny, which is a terrific option for families. It's on the ring road around the city and has some really terrific family amenities. So if you're traveling with families, traveling with kids, I highly recommend the Hotel Kilkenny. Now you are going to find so much more information and links in the show notes, so be sure to check those out. Kilkenny is such a wonderful city to spend time in, so no matter which option you choose, you're not going to make a wrong choice. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can't leave a review on your podcast app, you can visit the Ireland Family Vacations Facebook page and leave a review there, or use Trustpilot at irelandfamilyvacations.com/trust. Just say a couple nice words. I would really appreciate it. If you have questions or comments on this episode, you can email me, Jody, Jody, at irelandfamilyvacations.com. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, slán go fóill.